Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming to this press conference. We're here with Mr. Cal Blankendal to my left, as well as Daniel Johnson to my left as well, and to my right, Bermuda Technical Development Director Maurice Lowe. And we're here today to announce and have Cal to elaborate on the third annual Bermuda Triangle Cup. And for us, it's exciting. It's a partnership that's been working for a number of years now, but here we are at the third annual Triangle Cup, and I think we have some exciting times ahead.
Yes, good morning, Bermuda. We're here at the BFA headquarters, Clyde Center of Excellence. Exciting times once again, not only for the association, but also for the association and its affiliates and Bermuda in general. On behalf of Bermuda Sports and Management Group and Bermuda's Brazilian Football School, we're pleased to announce the third annual Bermuda Triangle Cup. And this year will feature the first time of the elite men's competition. We were approached by an overseas semi-pro team, the Oakville Blue Devils out of Ontario, and they are the 2017 League One champions, a high-level team that wished to come to the island and drew our network of friends and coaches overseas, particularly Mr. Brett Merson. We were able to attract them along with the BTA, and Mr. Daniel Johnson will speak on the partnership on that end. And they will be in Bermuda for a two-match series. The first match will take place on April the 19th at the National Sports Center versus a national team select. And then on the 22nd, we have a very exciting feature. There will be a Premier All-Star League select, similar to the MLS All-Star match. Players will be selected from the various teams in the Premier Division and First Division, and the coaching staff will come out of the Premier Division and First Division as well. The player selection will be based on the final team rankings in the BFA 2017-2018 season. So even though the season is coming to an end, the players have something to play for to receive maximum allocation in these matches. This is not only a two-match series. Having been approached by the overseas team, we said this is a very timely moment for Bermuda's football development with the CONCACAF League of Nations. And on that, we wanted to add a grassroots component. So they will host a 3v3 tournament here at the Clyde Center of Excellence, all skills-based, for players U9 and up, male and female, and also an over 30s competition. So maybe we get the president and technical director Lowe on the pitch as well. Very small-sided games. I think they have enough ammo and breath for that. On top of that, they will also give back to the community once again. They will be at the annual BFA Youth Symposium, Coaches Symposium, where the technical directors, club administrators, and managers of the various youth teams will meet, and they will give a presentation on youth development. The topic will be decided by the technical department with Mr. Lowe here. And another feature is they will actually attend the BFA award ceremony, so they will be able to interact with the executive, the other teams and coaches, and just highlight their entire stay on the island. I want to say a special thank you to Mr. Brett Merson, who was an employee on the island many years ago. He left the island to relocate overseas, received his coaching badges, and during that time he remained in contact with Mr. John Beard. I would say Sir John, because when I was on this side of the table and I was able to have a little bit more influence, I was in touch with Mr. Beard back 10 years ago, 2008, and I approached him on behalf of the BFA about a coach who could make a difference on the island. During my time, I wasn't able to get that contact going, but after that, with Bermuda's Brazilian Football School, I followed up with Sir John, and at the end of the day, I was able to get in touch with Mr. Brett Merson. Ironically, it took 4 years to develop a relationship, having traveled to Canada, but after those 4 years, we were able to do many things, travel overseas to Europe. He's been here for the HSBC College Showcase, so it's with many thanks to Mr. Brett Merson, who's on the tactical staff at the Oakville Blue Devils, that we've been able to get them to the island. There's also a relationship between Oakville and Bermuda, where their head coach, Mr. Duncan Wild, was the former head coach of the Toronto Lynx, and I believe that John Barry Newsom, one of our outstanding coaches and former outstanding national team players, was on that team roster and very successful in those early years. I believe it was like the A-League competition, and Mr. Wild has very fond memories of having coached Mr. Newsom and some other Bermudians, and that was another attraction of coming back, not only to see on the football end, but also to reconnect on the human relations and friendships that have been built on that as well. As you see, it's not just competition, it's about really keeping the movement that's going, and it's being led by the Bermuda Football Association and its president and staff. There's a lot of football opportunities coming. There's the CONCACAF tournaments. There's the end of season. I think that's one of the most exciting seasons we've had in the Premier and First Division. There's also had some acknowledgement to the Bermuda Football Coaches Association, because the coaching development has been going on. So we as a group, Bermuda Sports Management Group and Bermuda's Brazilian Football School, if we can add another piece to that and offer our partnership and expertise to the island in general, I think football and the community is a winner. And I'll hand it over to Mr. Lowe.
Good morning. It's a beautiful thing when partnerships or the objectives of our partnerships align well. So here we have the Bermuda Sports Management Group and Bermuda Brazilian Football School and the BFA able to collaborate on our objectives in terms of preparation for our senior men's program and as well as our youth teams. It's a beautiful thing for us to be able to collaborate this way and for us to get these preparation matches under our belt that is good for all of our national teams. So we're very, very thankful, that this opportunity is arising, and we will make sure that we make the best of it and put on a competitive match series along with all of the other events that are happening.
That won't be too long. Morning. On behalf of the Bermuda Tourism Authority, we would like to thank Cal for all of the hard work you have done over the years since we've been in partnership with bringing the teams and the youth in particular to Bermuda, helping to get their heads in bed. So that's something that we love to hear, and we are excited to be a part of the upcoming event or match, to say, with the Blue Devils coming to Bermuda. Part of our agreement with the National Sports Center is that any teams coming to Bermuda for training camps, they will be able to utilize the National Sports Center for free. So we're happy to extend that offer for this team coming down to Bermuda, and also ultimately they'll be guests of ours. So that's good in itself, and also work along with the BFA and some other initiatives as well. So we thank you guys as well for being a part of that, and we look forward to continuing to support you guys and everything you guys do, yourself, the Brazilian soccer school and coaches as well, and also the BFA. So thank you again, and we are as excited to be a part of this.
To the association, and I guess either one of you can answer, how does this fit into the Nations Cup League, the two warm-up matches that we're going to play at the end of this month, and then looking forward to the kickoff of the season?
Well, I'll let the technocrat handle that.
Sure. It fits in beautifully. Again, it gives us an opportunity. One of the challenges or long stemming challenges that we had is to have matches regularly and consistently. As everyone can see now, we're getting matches very, very frequently, back-to-back matches. So that gives us an opportunity to be able to build on our performances in these matches. So one of the challenges being a national team is that when you have a match, and particularly when the result of the match isn't favorable, like our previous match, then there's been a few months since that match. So that feeling has been lingering, within the team since that match. So it's good to get a next match, so that particularly when things don't go as well as expected, so that you can get a next match and you can continue the preparation and build on or correct some of the errors that happened previously. So we're very, very happy to have consistent matches and frequent matches, so that we can build our performances.
And Cal, the relationship you built with this club coming down, do you see it being a long-term relationship, a multi-year maybe, or are we just working year to year?
No, this relationship, first of all relationships which I have had in Brazilian football school is built on friendship. There's no relationship where if I've gone to a football entity and said, come to Bermuda, we are AC Milan or Manchester United, you're going to get high quality games. I haven't had that relationship. So the relationship is we build a friendship, we promote the island, we suggest that it could be sports and travel. They see what facilities we have, and out of that we talk, and sometimes it takes 4, 5, 6, this is an 8-year process. it's a good process because we built up a relationship in the past where we now know where we stand without them having to see if we are legit or not. On the association side, on my end, on the tourism side, everything's working in a beautiful partnership. We're already in discussion for returning next year, and if we get the individuals in the seats, because this is a business proposal, we have to meet all of our costs and demands. There's already discussions with 2 other teams to make it a round-robin tournament, including the national program or national program and under-20 select team. So there are other groups waiting to see how this pans out, but also this group, which is part of an organization which has like 10,000 membership. There's enough room and teams at a youth level as well. We're already in discussions with this group to bring youth teams in their off season, the winter season, so maybe between February and April of next year, they will be bringing a few teams on as well with another team. And we just had a discussion yesterday afternoon with a PDL team that is not part of this group about coming down next season. So our job or our wish is to communicate with teams, bring them to the island, have the national team be part of that, and it's a winner for Bermuda. This is all about Bermuda being as competitive as we can be. And as the technical director Lowe said, we need competitive matches, and the players need to play at an elite level each time. We're in an amateur program playing against individuals that play at semi-pro or pro. So we have to play at their level, which is beyond Bermuda's national level, as frequently as possible, and hopefully on island, so that we can get our home base to support us. Not everyone can travel overseas every time Bermuda plays to go support the team. So yes, long-term relationships we have, but we need to build long-term match relationships, and we need to showcase our brand internationally. So when anyone makes a call from Bermuda, we've heard that you played the Oakville Blue Devils, we've heard you've played Cosmos, we want to come down because we've seen what you've put on, and we know there's a good support base if we were to come to the island.
Mr. Reed, there's an opportunity at the administration level to see how they do it on a regular basis. Do you guys think you could take that opportunity to find out day-to-day operation? I mean, you guys do it on a part-time basis. What difference is it with a group from the U.S.?
Yeah, it's always an opportunity to have a peek, really, at how professional or semi-professional teams function. So all of these tours, I mean, Canada, same thing. We get a peek at what they do, and take some ideas, and certainly feed those ideas into our own programs.
The 2 local teams that were going to feature against the team from Canada, national team and the All-Stars, are they going to be involving the same players, or are you going to try to have 2 different teams so you can kind of spread your player base as wide as possible? What's the plan with that?
Royal Gazette must have an inside scoop. No, having discussions with the technical department and the president, they've made some good suggestions, and the general secretary, that the national team program should be 1 match, and then to increase the player pool. Those players that play in the national team for that 1 match will not be included in the All-Star match. So now we're actually developing a, if I may say, Mr. Lowe, an A and not a B, but a pool of players that may not have been selected and have a chance to showcase themselves on their own merit. And it also keeps the domestic league high, because everyone still has something to play for. Everyone wants to be in an international match, invite their family and friends down. And it only takes 1 match to be seen. Connor Smith did it. So there's an opportunity for others. And they're here always looking for talent. He has said if he sees someone, he's willing to give them an opportunity, and also to give a few youth players an opportunity to go overseas for training camp. So there's a good relationship. Before any other question, I do have to admit this is a very local, organic, grassroots event. Dennis Brown, who's the president of Bermuda's Brazilian Football School, we sat down and we said, hey, let's make this a local component. We've had the, what's the saying? America's Cup. We have the America's Cup. We have the Rugby Classic. We have the golf. We have the squash. We want to make this a real organic local Bermuda event. It's in its 3rd year, and we had a thought to go out to the local community as far as for funding, and we said, let's go to small, medium-sized businesses that really never get a chance to give back in their own merit besides a raffle or a small school draw. Let's get them involved. And before we go to any other question, I definitely want to go on without acknowledging Wilmot's Trucking and Apex Physio. They're going to be the lead sponsors of the All-Star match. The Bermuda Tourism Authority, in its own right, is the lead sponsor of everything we do here at Bermuda Sports Management with football international matches. TNT Driving School, the Booth 2 and Signing Facts. They will be the lead on the 3v3 and grassroots coaching. We have Natural Stern Landscaping and Property Maintenance, the Brunswick Street Bakery, and Exclusive Beauty Center. And internationally, again, through the association and some involvements they have already, Macron, who provides the kit for the referees, they have come on board and they are going to be the kit apparel provider for the All-Star match. So the All-Star players who will not be playing in the national team select uniform, they will be actually receiving their own individual uniforms from Macron, and Macron has also offered to fit out the referees for those 2 matches and any additional back room staff such as the managers and coaching staff as well. So, you know, it's now already getting an international partnership that is not just based on local firms, but also internationally. We're dealing with kit apparel providers, and hopefully that can blossom where the whole island can benefit from cheaper rates or just having access to another apparel provider.
What days are these matches? Thursday and Sunday? Is that correct?
Yes, Thursday the 19th and Sunday the 22nd, the National Sports Center will be the featured match with the men's national team select, and the 22nd will be at the Bermuda Athletic Association with Goose Gosling's Field.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what times you talking about? What
Tentatively between 7 and 8 p.m. on the Thursday evening, and we'll be guided by the national staff. And on the 22nd, it will be an afternoon match at 3 p.m. You know, subject to change, but technically try to keep the traditional time formats for that as well. I want to move on to the ticket prices. We really wish for individuals to purchase the tickets well in advance. We're a small organization with a small partnership here, and as soon as individuals purchase tickets, we can actually gauge the amount of staffing we need at all levels, especially security, which we have to have for international matches and a local criteria. So we've come up with a very progressive and friendly rate. So advanced ticket package for children will be $15 for 2 matches, so which is $7.50 for a match, which is very affordable if you're looking at any course on the island. For the adults, for 2 matches, it's going to be $30. So $30 for 2 international matches is very affordable. And of course, it will increase at the gate. For adults, it will be 25 on the match day, and for children, it will be 15. So if you purchase the tickets in advance, you know, a family can actually receive more for their money. And we really want people to come out, because it's not about this match, it's about let's build up that home feeling for all the other matches that are coming, the national pride, let's get everyone in the stands, and let's make the players feel that there's a reason and a need to perform at the highest level and to attend training, because we as a country are behind it.
Let me give you a heads up. On this Sunday, 22nd, cricket is also going to be played. So it's 20 extra times. It's something for you to consider.
Yes,
Sure.
and as a small island, there is always going to be conflicts,
Yeah.
but I think we have enough supporters of football and cricket on the island.
Yeah, I mean, just as a wrap up, really, it's this is another example of partnerships and relationships that afford us to be able to do many things. And I think as we grow and we got more partnerships, you know, we can achieve bigger and better things in Bermuda. From volunteer organizations, I think it's important that organizations work together. So you see here 3 organizations, 4 actually, who have come together to produce a weekend of events. And I think, you know, bringing football together is important, and you can see an example of what that does and how that brings about benefits for Bermuda outside of football. So now we're even talking about a tourism product. So thank you very much for coming.
Audio Jungle.